Hey ladies, well, we're back and we wanted to take a moment and answer that challenge question that we've been giving you guys every single week. I think it's just really helpful to hear a practical example and just for us to be real and share where we are in this journey too. So we wanted to talk a little bit about the question we asked was, do you have the right structures in place for yourself and your God goal to help you get there, to create that accountability. So we wanted to take a moment and share a bit. I think one of the things that I am realizing and that I'm still working on is giving myself more margin. So oftentimes I think I can do a lot more than I can in a week than I actually can.
So do you when you're planning out your week, do you put I'm going to work on Zveda here and I'm going to do my personal quiet time here and and then there's no time for rest?
Yes.
That's like me too.
So it's I get everything in my mind. It sounds like, oh yeah, I should be able to do that without first okay, no, I'm going to sit down and actually make sure that I can. I'm going to look at my calendar this week. What is work requiring? Do I have my son this week? That, that's a key thing that takes more time. Yeah. Because I'm shuttle driver right now. So do I have him? What commitments do I have for church or worship this week? Are there any? Or do I have a free week? What are my commitments for my 9-to-5 job? What are those things that I've already committed that I really wanted to make sure that I can crank out for the week? And then, what are those things that I can get accomplished for Zveda? Yeah. And so often I will start the week with not thinking through that very well.
You just jump into the week.
Loading myself up, jumping in the week, and then realizing oh my gosh, I'm not going to get to this. So more margin is where I've really got to focus.
Yeah, I think too, if I were to, kind of evaluate my own approach just on that note, I could probably actually plan less. And then if I do have the extra energy and space where I'm okay, this is maybe my little holding cue of things that would be great, nice to have this week, I'd probably actually feel better about me actually accomplishing things. So
I need to do that.
That's good, Jamie. I think that's good on just the point of what structures that you need in place. It's maybe a little bit more kind of planning time up front of what's actually realistic and giving yourself.
Giving myself more margin, more
that's good.
Realistic commitments.
Yeah, I think for me is we've, just a practical kind of business example with Zveda as we've been planning, we actually I've been working some of the Scrum methodology into our workflow or how we have structured how we work here at Zveda. And basically all this methodology is, it's one of the agile or more nimble, iterative approaches to working on projects. And basically this framework is the idea of working in what's called a sprint. So whether you have, a 2-week period or a 4-week period that you've given yourself, you've taken time on the front end to plan out what you're going to accomplish or tackle for that sprint or those, 4 weeks, let's say. And then by the very end, as you've actually had that time to work, we come back together. We have a reflection session where we reflect on the things that we did, things that we didn't get to with no judgment in that zone, judgment-free zone. And then we plan out what we're going to do the next sprint. And so that workflow, that kind of Scrum methodology, that approach has really helped us kind of break down the overarching goal of the things that we want to accomplish this year into smaller kind of bite-sized pieces so that then Jamie and I can have our own to-dos or action items that come from only looking at a month's long part of work and not the whole year at once. And it just helps us not, feel as overwhelmed, because when we're looking at some of our goals for this year, it's okay, how are we going to get there?
Exactly.
So that's one of the things that, we've been working on as far as what structure are we putting into place. So we hope that is helpful. And ladies, please, comment to us. Yes. Let us know what you're doing, what structures and accountability that you're putting into place. We want to hear, we want to talk with you and engage with you on all of our social platforms. So please, feel free to comment, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.